Assalamu alaikum. This lecture is for BBA 8. The subject is International Business and Trade. This is our lecture number 6, and this is in the continuation of the previous lecture. In this, we will continue our previous chapter, that is the multinational company, in which we will discuss the control of MNC activities. What we will discuss? The control of MNC activities. Firstly, we should know that why should we control MNC activities? Why should MNC activities should be controlled? Number one is to ensure that MNCs behave in a socially responsible manner. Number two is host countries can attain national socio-economic goals more effectively. Number three is national economic pride reflected in the dislike of the foreigners being able to influence the domestic economy or in particular politically political party advocating the control of foreign companies in order to gain political advantage. And last is the desire to coordinate MNC activity with national economic plan. So these are the reason that why should we control the MNC activities. Firstly, we will discuss the MNC conflict with national government, that why there is a conflict of MNCs with the national government. Because MNCs seek to maximize their profit on the worldwide rather than a national basis. What they seek? They need to maximize their profit worldwide. Not they will think about the nation in which they are doing investment. The policies they adopt may bring them into a conflict with the national government. So the policies which they will opt, what happens? It will bring conflict with the national government, which want reasonable tax revenues from foreign business operating within their borders. Secondly, difference in the core objectives of the national government and MNCs. There might be possible that the core objective of the national government and the MNCs are different, so this is the reason that the conflict with between them emerges. Then, wage rate to the local labor. It may be possible that the wage rate that they are giving to the local labor is too less, which brings a conflict between MNCs and the national government. Then, an MNC's competitive practices among domestic business, and then lastly, the nature of technology is transferred to underdeveloped countries means that they are transferring the technology that is too difficult for them to understand, so they need the skills and other experienced staff from the outbound companies so that they get trained. So these are the reasons that they make emerges a conflict between MNCs and national government. Now, why there is a conflict between MNCs with and the host countries? Conflict between MNCs and host countries are more common than conflicts involving home countries. So it means that with home country government, conflicts are less, but the conflicts with the host country and with the MNC, between these two, the conflicts is more severe, most common. Now, why the dispute typically arises? So, the dispute typically arises in two areas. Number one is MNC control and utilization of host country resources. That who is controlling MNC? Either the host country or the home country, and which resources are they utilizing? Secondly, disagreement about the division of profit arising from the MNC's local operations. So, the agreement between the country, the host country, and the MNC about the division of the profit, that how they will divide the profit. This could create the conflict between MNC and host country. Now, techniques of the host country control, that how the host country can control these conflicts. how the host country can control the MNCs. The techniques are as follows. Number one is they can impose special tax. Number two is they can set a minimum wage requirement, that what would be the minimum rate wage given to the people. So let's suppose that in Pakistan we have said that at least 18,000 should be the minimum wage rate. So the government should make such policies that the MNC have to opt it by hook or by crook. Thirdly, a certain number of host country nationals be employed in the managerial position. So we should say that if you want to do a business in our country, then there should be certain number of nationals to be employed in the managerial position. Then imports by subsidiaries be restricted to some maximum value. That it says that you should not import everything from your own country. You should buy few things from the host country as well. So government can do what a country can do. It can restrict that you can import the subsidiaries to a maximum value. You cannot go beyond that value. The very latest technology be used in the production. We can also say that you should use the latest technology of using production so that the cost of production should be minimized. Then the subsidiary not take more than a predetermined share of local market. So it should say that we have already determined the share of the market, that how much share of your company will opt in the local market. So you should not go beyond that. Next, a predetermined minimum number of new jobs be created. So it also says that a number of new jobs should be created by the MNCs so that the people of the company, people of the host country should get employed, should get employment by the MNCs. So it would be a benefit for the host country. Then MNC subsidiaries obtain import export license, that if the MNC subsidiaries are working here, then they should obtain import and export license firstly, and then they can import and export. Then some minimum percentage of share capital of an MNC local establishment be owned by the host country citizen. So it says that the share in the capital of an MNC should also should also have by owned by host country citizen. So it should owned by the host country citizen as well. There should be a percentage. It shouldn't be like this, that all the shares are by the MNC's companies, that they are operating in our country, but all of their shares are with the foreigners. So there should be a minimum percentage of the share capital that should be owned by the host country. Now, we will discuss the conflict with the home country. Companies undertaking international operations achieve economies of scale and are thus able to supply low price outputs to the domestic market. They engage in research and development, earn foreign currency, introduce new products, pay large amount of tax to the home country government, and employ increasing number of workers. Headquarters functions will naturally tend to be undertaken in home country, further contributing to the overall economic development of the state. Eventually, what happened? Competitive pressures and the drive for increased efficiency might cause an enterprise to allocate resources outside its home nation, a move possibly resented by the citizen and government of the home country. Workers in the home nation might lose their jobs, investment spending falls, and there is an outflow of the financial capital. So this is the reason that why there is a conflict with the home country of the MNCs. Now, the last question is that who should control the MNC activities? So, there are two approaches to these questions which may be discerned here. The first relies on the proposition that MNCs are no different from any other businesses, so that any MNC operation within a country's national frontier must conform to the laws and custom of that country. Means it must follow the laws and customs of that country. Hence, the government of the nation concerned should be the controlling authority. Secondly, the second approach asserts that since MNCs are supranational organizations, some of which have revenues considerably higher than those of many nation states, then control should be exercised by international bodies such as regional trading groups or United Nations. Thank you.